We're looking at the Central Miami submarket. This submarket runs along the I-95 corridor. The south end of it is on the west side, and the north end is on the east side. And then we've got 220 industrial properties that are there. This is one of the smallest submarkets in terms of inventory that are out there. Right now we have actively 13 properties that are for sale, 7 that are actively for lease. And in the last 3 months, we've seen 2 closings and sales and 2 properties that have been leased out in there. As far as the dollar per square foot on the lease rates, we are at $20.24 a square foot on the lease rates. That's up slightly from last year. As far as the expectation of what you're going to see, it will eventually climb. There's been a little dip in there probably over the next few months, and there are a lot of people coming out of long-term leases. So anybody that had a 5-year or even a 10-year lease, those people may have had a sub $10 a square foot lease, meaning that they're coming out of it into $20 a square foot. So that's a pretty big hit for someone to take in their business, especially if they didn't plan accordingly for it. As far as dollar per square foot on the sales price, if they are coming out of that lease, they may want to consider a purchase. Even though they're at $20 or $238 a square foot on the purchase, still the benefits of ownership are still far outweighing the cost of that. Obviously, they had to have taken that into consideration. They have to have planned, for that going forward. There are some programs like the SBA. If you are a small business owner, you're gonna owner user, that can get you in with 10%. Reach out to us on that one. We can explain that program to you. As far as the expectations, again, why it's so good to think about purchasing right now, because the dollar per square foot is probably going to hold until the middle of 2025. So you've got some time now to get something under contract, get a good interest rate, as interest rates have just dropped. So again, the benefits of ownership are going to outweigh those lease prices going forward. As far as the cap rates are, the expectation is they're at 6% now. The expectation is that they're going to coincide with the sales and in the middle of 2025. So it'll probably climb to about 6.1 or just below 6.2, and then they'll start to fall again. As far as the distribution of those cap rates, it was anywhere from 4 to about an 8%. So it's, while the average is 6%, again, there are some stuff that traded at 4%, some stuff that traded at 8%. It's across the board. Now, in terms of sales, there's the majority of properties that were out there listed did not sell. I believe it was 8 that sold and 12 that were actually listed. This is good in the sense that those people, not too many off-market trades that are happening in this area. In a lot of the other submarkets, we are seeing more properties that sold that were actually listed, and we know that those properties tend to sell for about 20% less. So if you are thinking about selling, reach out to us. We can give you a valuation, let you know what your property is worth, and we can explain what's the best way to get the most money for your property in the least amount of time.